What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader, and today I am a politician. Because as we all know, politicians know absolutely nothing. And in this case, we're talking about recent sales prices, mainly the most expensive items I could find for Lego Star Wars. And I know nothing about Lego Star Wars. I don't collect anything Lego, but the point of this video is really to do a giveaway. Because Charles over at 5 Idiots Talking Toys, he's also an admin with the Rogue 5 Toys on Facebook. And he also does have a small Lego Star Wars channel that I'll put a link to in the video description in case you want to go over there and subscribe to it. But Charles is a great guy, good friend of mine, and it was so nice to see him during the convention here in town in May. And he brought a gift that he wanted me to give away on the channel. So that's what I'm going to do. And as part of that, we'll look at some of the most expensive Lego Star Wars items that have sold on eBay. And let me tell you, I'm shocked. I had no idea that some of this stuff was as expensive as it is. And some of them I did know, but a lot of them I was just blown away by the values. So here is the giveaway before I forget. And so this is the Republic fighter tank. And it's still mint and sealed box, and it includes a Mace Windu, some 187th clone troopers, and some battle droids. So one of you is going to be the lucky winner, and this again is courtesy of Charles. And here are the rules for the giveaway. And I'm doing it a little bit differently this time because I want you guys to really put your thinking caps on. Whoever comes up with the best question for my next subscriber Q&A video, and I'll save that question till the very end so you know you're the winner. Whoever comes up with the best question will be the winner. So I get to decide it. It's not going to be a random drawing this time. So I'm trying to avoid the how many items are in your collection? What's your favorite item? Well, those are not imaginative questions. I want you guys to really kind of put some thought into it. And in the comments below, give me a question for my next subscriber Q&A. And whoever comes up with the most thought-provoking or coolest question will be the winner of this Republic fighter tank, courtesy of Charles over at 5 Idiots Talking Toys. So it's a lot. It's going to take some really good guesswork on you guys' part coming up with a good question. I think I've talked long enough. Let's look at some of these Lego items. I could not believe some of these prices. Good Lord. This is a Jango Fett's Slave 1 perfect mint sealed box, and a lot of it is tied to if they've quote-unquote retired that particular Lego set. If it's a retired set, obviously it becomes all of a sudden very valuable because you know they're not going to be making any more of them. But this Jango Fett's Slave 1 sold down in Australia for 1,900 Australian dollars, which is 1,281 US dollars. That is kind of, I mean, you could probably get pretty close to getting a mint and sealed box vintage Kenner ungraded Slave 1, with not much more money than that. So it's pretty crazy what the Lego community will pay for some of these items, but I'm not judging. I'm just saying that for me, I didn't know about any of this stuff. And speaking of retired sets, here is one that's labeled as retired in the eBay description, but this is the Naboo Starfighter. And obviously this is probably bumped up in popularity and in price after the Mandalorian's appearance in a Naboo Starfighter. But this one sold over in the UK for £1,250, which is almost 1,600 US dollars. So if you have any of these sets, you need to start thinking about either selling them or protecting them because they're very, very, very pricey. And here's another retired set. This is the Imperial Star Destroyer. I don't even want to know how big this thing is once it's fully assembled. I did go over to a buddy's house one time who is really into Lego, and he had a lot of these early sets all put together. He's got a whole room devoted to it, and they are pretty incredible to look at. Certainly, I have no desire to own them, but it's really cool to go into somebody's house who's obsessed with Star Wars Legos and have like an entire room devoted to it. But anyway, this Imperial Star Destroyer sold for $1,550 plus another $70 shipping. So here's another set. This is the Millennium Falcon. And, you can see they got all these, numbers, Lego number 10179. So it allows you to track, even on the box there, it allows you to track which version it is. And some of them are more expensive than others. But anyway, this Falcon sold for $1,850 plus $75 shipping. So pretty incredible item there. This is one I was really laughing at. I could not believe this. Now, in all fairness, this was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and there were only 1,000 sets made, but it's a Lego Star Wars Advent calendar from 2011, and this is still sealed in kind of this box here, and as you can see, it's got the San Diego Comic-Con logo, 2011 exclusive, only 1,000 sets made. But it's an Advent calendar, so it's just crazy to me. Anyway, this set was listed for $2,000, and this Advent calendar SDCC exclusive sold. The best offer that was accepted was $1,600, so big number there. Next up is a loose Cloud City Boba Fett, and more on that in a second, because the Cloud City Lego set, the 10123 Cloud City set, apparently is the most expensive item, and the figure inside this Boba Fett, I've seen loose graded examples go for a lot of money. This one was loose, ungraded. It was labeled as in original mint condition. It was listed for $3,000 for just this little Lego minifigure of Boba Fett, and it sold for $2,350. So that set apparently is one of the holy grails of Star Wars Legos, because they go for big money, and I've got those towards the end of the video here. Next up is another retired set. This is the Army of the Republic dropship, along with an AT-OT Walker. So this has got to be a massive box, and it's got kind of a similar Clone Wars packaging there in the upper right-hand corner, very similar to what we talked about in a recent market update. But this large 2-pack sold for $3,495. So absolutely massive numbers. This is one I did know that was expensive, because I've seen them sell on Facebook before, but this is the Death Star 2 original trilogy edition of the Death Star, and this one sold for $3,900 plus $87 shipping, and I found a number of data points anywhere from $35,000 to $4,000, so pretty incredible set there. Next up is the 501st Legion Clone Troopers multi-pack, and that's a pretty expensive set. That one sold for $4,000, so it was pretty mind-blowing to kind of go through these and just realize that this is almost next level. I mean, a lot of these prices are more than I've ever spent on any vintage Star Wars item, more than any comic book I own or anything like that. So it just shows you that there is a massive secondary market for a lot of these original kind of Star Wars items. But here was a massive Lego Star Wars sealed lot, and this one sold on 10 bids for $4,000. And you can see all the different ones. Ultimate Collector Series Falcon. You got another Imperial Star Destroyer. Some smaller sets from the original, or excuse me, from the prequel trilogy, along with some Clone Wars type items. So apparently lots of very expensive items in that set. And that one sold for $4,000 for that lot. Next up, this is one we've covered in kind of my oddball videos, you know, oddball Star Wars items on eBay that sell for big money. And I was always flabbergasted by these I Love New York Yodas, but apparently they were, I think, don't quote me, but they were Toys R Us exclusives, very limited in number. This one was still sealed in the bag, and this one sold in an auction for $3,550 on 34 bids. Here was another example. This one sold for $48.50, and it had included the original Toys R Us receipt from the New York store. And so I guess this one, just people decided that this was a more expensive item because it had the original receipt. So kind of a cool piece there. But that just gives you a rough idea of the price range for this I Love New York Yoda in a sealed bag. So that's roughly $3,500 to $48.50. Absolutely crazy. Here was another one that sold, the exact same item. This one sold for $40.50. Best offer accepted. It was listed for $8,000, and they took half that, $4,050 on that one. So pretty wild there. Here is kind of the holy grail for Star Wars Lego collectors, and I found a number of different data points depending on condition of the box, whether it was still sealed, things like that. But this is the sealed Cloud City set. And this one always goes for big money, apparently. This one had 106 bids. I don't know if I've seen that many bids before for one item, but this set sold on May 31st for $8,700 for a sealed Lego Cloud City set. Absolutely crazy. But that you would think that is like a fake auction, but no, I found at least 5 to 8 different sales that were anywhere from slightly below this number to $4,000 to $5,000 for an open complete set, all the way up to over $9,000. So it's a pretty incredible set apparently. Here are just the figures from that Cloud City Lego set. They're kind of displayed in like this frame case here, and just these minifigures from that set sold for $3,500. So pretty crazy there. This was an interesting one. This one was a Nuremberg International Toy Fair from 2005 sealed baggie. So it was only available at a Nuremberg Toy Fair, and it apparently has Darth Vader inside this poly bag. And this one sold over in Europe for 1,300 euros, which is almost 1,400 US dollars. So a lot of those are exclusives from either SDCC or from different Lego toy fairs or just general toy fairs, where they have very exclusive limited number sets only available at those locations. Those always go for big money. But I thought I wanted to point that one out because that was kind of an interesting one. And then finally, this is another Holy Grail from Legos, but this is an Australian Lego Star Wars Chrome C-3PO in a sealed envelope from 2007. And based on the description here, he says, I won the 2007 Australian Toys R Us Lego exclusive creative writing competition. Only 100 prizes were available. So there's only 100 of these available. So to enter this competition, you needed to spend $100 on Star Wars Legos at Toys R Us for one entry form. Then, in 25 words or less, tell them why C-3PO is gold. Winners were not random, but selected from Lego Australia, Sydney. So, very cool item and very exclusive. Only 100 of them made. He had the original mailer envelope that came from Lego, and you can see it was just a little padded envelope. Can you imagine knowing now that this is worth over $8,000? This one sold for 12,200 Australian dollars, or roughly 8,200 US dollars. But it originally came to him in this sealed baggie, no protection whatsoever. And this is what it looks like inside. It's like a vacuum sealed chrome C-3PO inside this case. So pretty incredible item, and with only one of 100 made, but just absolutely mind-blowing numbers. So as a reminder, give me your best question in the comments below, and you'll be entered to win this Republic fighter tank. And then at some point soon, I will do a subscriber Q&A video. I haven't done one of those in a while, and the best question will be the winner. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.